following the unceremonious exit of Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina after a military coup in August this year. Nobel laureate Mohammad Yunus was brought in as the chief advisor. Prior to the coup and even after, the minority community in particularly was targeted in Bangladesh, and hundreds of targeted killings were done of Hindus in the country. India and many other nations have expressed their concerns over the treatment and persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh at the hands of Islamists. However, Yunus would like the world to believe that it is a propaganda. When the Hindu Suhasini Haider asked him that despite him trying to paint a positive picture of Bangladesh, the new US President-elect Donald Trump too issued a strong statement criticizing Bangladesh, Yunus outrightly denied Trump having made any such statement. Except when Haider reminded him that Trump has indeed commented on the state of minorities in Bangladesh. Yunus claimed that Trump's statement was not on Bangladesh but on minorities, and then brazened it out by claiming that all the persecution the Hindus faced in Bangladesh was propaganda. When Haider pointed out that not just Trump but even Indian government, especially PM Modi, have expressed concerns over targeting of Hindus, Yunus again denied the same and called it propaganda. Here is the documented list of atrocities in Bangladesh, many of which are unaccounted for because of lack of media coverage. Yunus has the audacity to deny this and claim this as propaganda. What is more appalling is the fact that Suhasini Haider, an Indian journalist, instead of confronting Yunus with facts, gave him a free pass and did not probe any further. Not even when Yunus watered down the persecution of Hindus as reports about some tension. Here are some headlines from the Hindu itself. If only Haider had shown some honesty and made Yunus read these articles at least. In fact, when Haider points out that there are videos on social media where Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh are raising their concerns over their safety, Yunus shifts goalposts and claims how his cabinet is full of activists, whether human rights or environment or gender, and hence such persecution would not happen. Which is quite amusing, since when did activists become the gold standard in governance and maintaining law and order? In fact, if Indian activists are anything to go by, they are quite anti-development themselves and often instigate mobs by giving hate speech. Yunus claims that his cabinet is full of women activists and other such, and hence would not push for an Islamist agenda. Here is Mohammad Yunus meeting Hifazat-e-Islam leader Mamunul Haq. The meeting took place on 31st of August after he was made the chief advisor to Bangladesh government following Sheikh Hasina's ouster. Hifazat-e-Islam, formed in 2010, it batted for Islamic law in Bangladesh. And not just that, Yunus government also lifted a ban on Jamaat-e-Islami, the country's largest Islamist party. He also released Jashmuddin Rahmani, chief of Ansarullah Bangla team, an Al-Qaeda affiliated outfit which aims to establish a sleeper cell network of jihadis. And then Mohammad Yunus wants the world to believe the minorities are safe in Bangladesh, and Suhasini Haider does not even ask him tough questions. In fact, Yunus then goes on to justify the political violence and say that the law of the land has prevailed when questioned about protecting those who were targeted for political revenge. Imagine justifying the violence by suggesting how revenge is the law of the land. Yunus then accuses Sheikh Hasina of playing politics in Bangladesh. Maybe someone needs to remind Yunus that Hasina is a democratically elected leader, and as of now she has not submitted a resignation. Yunus, on the other hand, is parachuted as caretaker chief by the powers that may be after ousting sitting Prime Minister. He should not quite be pontificating on politics to Hasina. He demands that India send Hasina back to Bangladesh and has approached the Interpol for the same. However, when Haider points out that he could have asked for extradition from India since the two nations have a treaty, Yunus changes topic and claims legal steps are being taken. What is worse is that Yunus then gives a veiled threat to India over Hasina's extradition. He claims that if India continues to keep Hasina, the subsequent government will not forgive India. What exactly does he mean by that? And why did Haider not ask what he meant by this? Why was he not asked a follow-up question? How can an Indian journalist sit there when a head of another nation gives such veiled threats to our country? This makes one wonder whether this was just a PR exercise ahead of Trump's swearing in as US president to show that Yunus is heading a government of consensus, to water down atrocities on minorities just because he calls it propaganda. How low will these people stoop?